In this video, we will determine the equations of a line passing through two given points in both the point-slope and slope-intercept form. If you would like more practice problems, go ahead and check out the links in the description box below. Now let's take a look at our first example. We have points 1, 2, and 3, 4. We want to find an equation for point-slope form as well as slope-intercept form. For point-slope form, our equation will look something like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And for slope-intercept form, here in yellow, we have our equation looking like this. Y equals mx plus b. Let's go ahead and find our point-slope form equation first. This is because it'll make it easier to find our slope-intercept form equation later. Now the first thing we want to do is find our slope, which is m, and to find our slope we can use this equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And in order to know what values to plug in for this, all we have to do is look at our given values and label them. So 1 over here on our left side here, 1 is our first x value, so that can be labeled as x1. 2 is our first y value, so that will be y1. 3 is our second x value, so that will be x2. And 4 is our second y value, so that will be y2. And now all we have to do is insert it in over here. So we have for y2 4, and y1 is 2, and then that'll be over 3 minus 1. And then we can calculate it to get 2 over 2. And this will simplify further to equal 1. So our slope, which is m, will equal 1. So now all we have to do is plug in our values for y1 and x1, and we can use these points right here. As you can see, they are x1 and y1. So our point-slope form equation will be y minus 2 equals 1 times x minus 1. And there you have it. This is our point-slope form equation. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase all of this here so we can start out on a blank screen to find out our slope-intercept form equation. So now I'm just going to rewrite our point-slope form equation, which we found, which is y minus 2 equals 1 times x minus 1. And for our slope-intercept form equation, we have y equals mx plus b. And all we have to do is to just solve this equation and simplify it. So we are going to do y minus 2 equals, and then we just multiply it by x and negative 1s. So we have 1x, and then minus 1 times 1 is 1. And now we isolate the y, so we add 2 to both sides, and we end up getting y equals 1x plus 1. And this will be our slope-intercept form equation. So that means our point-slope form equation will be this right here, and our slope-intercept form equation will be this right here. Now there is another way of solving the slope-intercept form equation, especially if you're not given already your point-slope form equation, or if you're not asked to solve for point-slope form. So when this happens, you can solve it another way. And there is another video out on the channel. You can check that one out. I'll link it down in the description box below, and you can see how you can solve for slope-intercept form another way. Now let's take a look at one last example. We have points 3, 2, and 6, 3. Again, we want to figure out our equation for point slope form as well as for slope-intercept form. We're going to start off with point slope form first because it makes it easier to solve for our slope-intercept form. So let's label our points again. So we have x1 for 3, y1 for 2, x2 for 6, and y2 for 3. Now we have to find our slope first, which is m, and that equation will be m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we already labeled our points, so we just plug them in here. So we will get 3 minus 2 over 6 minus 3. We calculate that and we get m equals 1 over 3. So that means our slope for our equation will be 1 over 3. And now all we have to do is fill in our values for y1 and x1 using these points right here. So our point slope form equation will end up being y minus 2 equals 1 over 3 times x minus 3. Now let's clear everything up so that we can figure out our slope-intercept form equation by simplifying our point slope equation. So all we have to do is figure out our equation in this format, y equals mx plus b. And we can do that by simplifying this equation here in blue. So we have y minus 2 equals, and then we multiply 1 over 3 by x and by negative 3. So we have 1 over 3x minus 1 over 3 times 3 will be 1. And then we have to isolate the y. So we add 2 to both sides, and we end up getting y equals 1 over 3x plus 1. And this will be our slope-intercept form equation. So let's write this out a little bit more neatly. Okay, there we go. So we have y minus 2 equals 1 over 3 times x minus 3 in parentheses for our point slope form equation, and then for our slope-intercept form equation we have y equals 1 over 3x plus 1. Again, if you would like more practice problems, check out the links in the description box below, and as always, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe for more videos.